Turning our attention over to the Eastern Eyre Netball Association now, and of course Kristy Turnbull is on the line with me to help us do just that. Good to speak to you again, Kristy. How are you going?
Yeah, I'm going well this week, thanks, Dan. It's come around very quickly once again, but here we are.
It always does. The weeks are flying by. Hard to believe we're nearly into July and we're about halfway through the season in the Eastern Eyre Netball Association. So time certainly is flying by. And it was round 7 last weekend, and it was Kimba Districts getting the win over Eastern Rangers. Really interesting result here in this one. Kimba winning it by 9 goals, 53-44, and it was Eastern Rangers winning by 14 goals last time they met. So that shakes things up a little.
Yeah, definitely a huge turnaround for that Kimba team coming up against Rangers for the second meeting of this season. Kimba have got a slightly different look team when they come up against Rangers last week. They've had Amber Schilling return from an injury in their goal ring, and her height and her accuracy in that goal ring is certainly something that Kimba have probably missed over the last few weeks. And they've also got Laura Fitzgerald stepped up into goals with Amber as well, and Laura's also got a fair bit of height. So they really started to settle as a team, Kimba, which we've expected them to do. They probably didn't get off to quite the start that they were hoping for this season, but big from 14 goal down last time to a 9-goal win this time is a huge turnaround for that team. So well done to those girls.
Massive turnaround, and the road team winning each game between these two. So that's a little bit unusual.
It is, yeah. Yes, I noticed that as well when I was doing my research. Not something we see too often.
No, but it was a little bit easier for the other home team on the weekend. Central Eyre United beat Ports 62-40, and that, with the result from the other game, sends them to the top of the ladder.
It does, yeah. It's made a bit of a change to our ladder position with Storm getting that fairly solid win against Ports. But unfortunately, with this game, the scoreboard probably doesn't quite reflect how the game played out. Ports come out really quick and fast in the first quarter and had Storm rattled, and it was actually goal for goal for a fairly large part of that first quarter in this game. But once Storm sort of settled and just kept playing their own game, they just slowly pegged away. But Ports were without Chelsea Smith, and she can play both ends, but her height was really missed up against Storm's Rani Tomby in the Storm goal ring. So, they just struggled to match Rani's height, and both teams, shooting beautifully and a lot of play, but Storm just, had a few more turnovers and capitalised on those very well against the Ports girls. So had a nice solid win, take top of the table now.
All right, and it was Storm by just 8 goals at Arno Bay when they met back in round 2. So good to know that the Ports, the scoreboard there didn't quite reflect the margin necessarily. So Ports going along pretty nicely this season, and we'll see if they've got a win on the cards this weekend. They beat Cowell last time they played back in round 3 to break that massive 7-year streak, and they are playing them again, this time at home. So what do you reckon, Kristy? Is it another win on the cards for Ports this weekend?
Oh, look, I really hope it is, Dan. Those Cowgirls, they're really going to want to get their first win on the board. And these two teams for the last 7+ years have always had really, really good tight tussles. But both of the teams this year, Cow had that really close game with Rangers a couple of weeks ago, and probably the Ports Rangers game wasn't quite as close as that. So Cow will be fairly confident knowing what they can do, but also the Ports girls have got that win over Cow under their belt and will come out, with a bit of confidence, knowing that. Both teams have got a couple of outs this week though, which will make a difference. Cow haven't got Annika Wallage in their defence, so they will miss her reliability and height. And Ports don't have Courtney Grigg in their goals, and Courtney played an absolutely brilliant game, shooting very accurately and moving really well in the goal ring last week for Ports against Storm. So who comes in and steps into those positions will remain to be seen on the day, and I think, this will come down to just playing, Cow have really settled and they're playing solid 4 quarters, which we haven't seen from them probably earlier in the year. So I think it's going to be a fairly tightly contested game, and it'll be high intensity, and both teams want the win. But I think the Ports girls might just get on top. Yep,
there will be plenty of hunger for a win in that one, no doubt about that. Bottom of the table clash there. We've also got a top of the table clash. Central Eyre United hosting Eastern Rangers, and this one will be massive. The winner goes top.
Yeah, it will, and I think Rangers will want to get the win on this one to reclaim that top position that Storm stole from them last weekend. Last time it was 2 goals to Storm's way when these two teams met. They do come in without Abby Bruce this week again, and she was best for them against Rangers last time. She plays in defence. She's a very solid, reliable player, and whether that will impact the game a little bit on the Storm side, but Storm didn't have Abby last week against Ports either and still come away with that fairly good 20-odd goal win. So, I think this could go either way, and knowing that there's only 2 goals in it this time, but with the teams on the road winning, I reckon the Rangers girls might have a little bit of fire in their belly and hunger for that top of the table position to be theirs, so they might just get over the Storm girls.
All right, a couple of brilliant games in A grade for the Eastern Eyre Netball Association this weekend. Brilliant games all over the place in Eastern Eyre Netball. Good luck to anyone who is playing tomorrow. Kristy, thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the netball. We'll catch you next week.
Thanks, Dan. I'll talk then.